you look at the players, don't you, and think, right, they must have players that can change games, that can impact games when things aren't going wrong. And they have. They've certainly got that. They've got the likes of Cavani that came off the bench there, who his movement just is absolutely up there with the greatest, well, the best in the world in my eyes. I think he's unbelievable when crosses are coming in. How he nips in front of defenders, times his run, and the actual finishes as well are absolutely brilliant. But you can only think it's, you know, apart from their players that can change games, you can only think it's a mindset thing. Are they slow in getting into their rhythm in games? Do they grind teams down? Are they fitter than other teams? All these things enter your head, but that can't be a coincidence. Coming back in 10 games from behind to win is a staggering number, and it's virtually half of their points for the season.
Certainly is. OK, so we are 2 down, still 2 to come this Premier League Sunday. And, of course, it all started with Wolves. Another red card in that game as well for Brighton, having taken the lead to win 2-1. 3-1. Manchester United. Villa finished with 10 as well. Huge game next in terms of the Champions League place. David Moyes' West Ham facing his former club Everton. West Brom, if they lose away at Arsenal tonight, they will be officially relegated. The Monday Night Football is Fulham against Burnley. So a reminder, United up to 70, 10 behind the champions-elect. Chelsea went third yesterday. West Ham, if they beat Everton, will go within 2 points of Leicester City, having played the same number of games. Fulham play Monday. It's looking bleak. 9 points behind Burnley and still 10 behind Brighton after their defeat to Wolves.
Good win for you guys in the end there. Bit of a spicy game at times, though. What was it like for you?
Yeah, no, of course. You know, going 1-0 down in the first half, you know, we knew it was going to be a hard game, and we've been in this situation so many times. You know, not good enough the first half, and, you know, second half we come back much better, and we did again. So, you know, obviously that's a positive, but we need to, you know, make sure we start the first half better than we normally do. Why
do you think it is you find yourself in these situations?
To be honest, I don't really know. Maybe we're not ready for the game or what, but, you know, we've got the quality, so we need to step up in the first half because, you know, we can't keep counting on the second half performances and, you know, coming back from goals down, but we did it again and now we just need to keep going.
What is it Ollie says to you at half-time?
To be honest, he said exactly what I've just said. We've been in this situation a lot of times this season, so, you know we can do it. We know we got the quality. You know, we're a fit team now. We need to keep pushing, and I think we always believe, and, you know, that showed today that we believe. When we got the first goal, I felt, you know, we're going to win this game, and we carried on going and got 3 in the end.
And they duly did, and it was eventful in that second goal. First goal for United proved pivotal with the penalty. Any arguments from a Villa point of view about the awarding of it?
No, not at all. I thought that was a great build-up, and this is actually the first time we see Paul Pogba getting into the box. The next thing is about David Luiz. He just don't let him turn, and then he makes that challenge. But this is the weakness that David Luiz have, the interception and making sure that he make the right tackles. And I think it was a challenge that he didn't have to make, and was a great play from Pogba.
And this fella's as reliable as anything from the penalty spot, Michael.
Isn't he just, what was it, 21 and 22, something like that? It's a staggering amount of penalties. He's getting a lot of practice, so he should be half decent at it by now. But, yeah, it's brilliant. He watches the goalkeeper go the wrong way. Just going back to the penalty, Douglas Luiz he actually did the hard bit in preventing Pogba. Then he got him turned and going back the other way. He did all the hard bit, you know, brilliant. Now you've waited for all your teammates to get back and all of a sudden make a rash decision. But as soon as he gave the penalty, then there was no doubt in where the ball was going to end up.
And as you can see, that is the most penalties in the Premier League in a single season. That was 1-1. 2-1, Mason Greenwood's feet and finish.
Oh, Mason Greenwood is just so good. You see Bruno trying to link the play there, gets it wide to Wan-Bissaka. And just watch Mason Greenwood just come short there, drops the shoulder on Mings. And to be fair, normally I think this team we've seen Martinez make the save there, but I just think Mings gets a bit far over. Mason feels him. Mo will know that better than any, and he just spins off him. Just see it there, spins off the back of him. I think Mings is a bit too far over, and he's so sharp a finish, Mo, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that. It's good centre-forward play because you know, you've got to offer yourself up as almost a wall pass in many ways. But then when Wan-Bissaka didn't go for it, then he spun him himself.
And talking of centre-forward play, talk us through this movement.
Well, the guy is unbelievable. His timing of runs, he's just brilliant. The way he glides in front of his man, sometimes he'll go behind, but it's the timing. And do you know, sometimes he makes the finish much harder than it is, because he always nicks in front of the man. And you'll look at him, and I know people talk about him and say, oh, yeah, but he misses loads of chances. It's because he makes it so hard for himself a lot of the time by always getting across and nipping across the front man. These other strikers, they won't even put themselves in dangerous positions, but he does. He is the best timer of runs. I mean, I'm not sure whether you should be proud of records of coming off the bench to score, because I'm sure he'll want to start every game, and he probably deserves to. But talk about timing. If any kid is out there watching centre-forward play, I mean, put it that way, in the first half, that would never have happened. Marcus Rashford, very, very good player, but he just can't, he couldn't make that type of run. He's a wide player running in, and in the first half, he was a central player running out all the time. And Cavani is just the epitome of a centre-forward. OK, you did score 3 in one season off the bench in the Premier League as a sub for Manchester United, I'll have you know. That's all positive. Worry, Harry Maguire hasn't finished a Premier League game for the first time since he signed for Manchester United.
Yeah, Mr. Reliable. I mean, they're fortunate that he virtually can play every game. And he's unfortunate. He's really unlucky, the fact that El Ghazi just lands on him. And I think it's really... I think he wanted to stay on, he tried to, but just that weight there on the outside of his left leg, he tried to stay on. It must be really painful, and hopefully it's not a big injury, because he doesn't, as you said, he always plays, and it must have been bothering him.
OK, so Manchester United, and indeed probably England, will lost with that and Harry Maguire. Aston Villa, Stillian, ended with 10 men. Ollie Watkins, what was your reading of this?
At the start, I thought it was a penalty, but when we looked at it from a few angles, I can see
why... It's the first yellow?
Yes, I can see that. It's a straight yellow, that's not a problem, no. But here, this is where the problem is. The referee have a great view. He made the straight decision. He didn't have to even wait, because he saw that the goalkeeper is pulling. He tried to pull away from that tackle. And what is Ollie Watkins doing? He's going down too early. You have to time that. You have to make sure. I've been there. I've been booked a few times, but what I've learned is about you have to time it. In a situation like that, you have to time it. Yes, you're there, you're making the right run, time it well. He was going down too early. That's why I think the referee decided that it was a second yellow.
I've been there too, so I agree with him.
Funny enough, I wasn't going to bring that up.
I might not have admitted it until he did. Yeah, you know a tackle's coming, but you've almost got to make it look authentic. You can't be going down before the touch arrives. I think he has touched him, and I think it's a harsh second yellow, because it's, you know, Henderson's come out almost endangering his safety. So you are protecting yourself, you are starting to go down, but the problem is if it looks as if you're going down first and the referee sort of sees through it and thinks it's a dive. OK, he will be suspended for Villa's game against Everton. Owen and Michael, thank you as always. Stillian, great to see you today. Thank you for your company. It wasn't the day again. Aston Villa lead Manchester United by 1-0. So for the second time this weekend, at half-time in the Premier League, we are 45 minutes away from the Red Ribbons becoming the blue of Manchester City. But what's happened to Manchester United?
Well, I thought they started pretty good for 20 minutes, but Villa had one moment and they capitalised. I mean, so far, you have to say Stan has been right. The fact that he saw Villa finding a way to get something, and it's just McGinn. You know, he wins the ball back in a good area. Troy's been so effective, gets a bit lucky there, but it's a heck of a finish, isn't it, Mo?
It is. It's a great finish. I think it could be avoided by Manchester United. However, I think Target does really well, because here I'm thinking you better step back. You're 2 against 1 and you're going to get counter-attacked. But he was very brave. He actually pressed Greenwood, wins the ball, and all of a sudden then there's a problem for you centre midfielders to explain. A huge problem, and we discussed it earlier, me and Owen, regarding the communication about Fred. He's in a position where you don't have the right to play that ball, but if you play that ball, can McTominay give you an extra yard? Yeah,
maybe just drop off 1 yard, yeah, then he can clear. But again, he's weak standing in that challenge there. Credit Villa, they win it back, and then just a bit of quality from Troy, a heck of a finish, no chance for Dean Henderson, but that was their only shot on target there, and I think United would be disappointed, because it was quite avoidable. And again, all United fans are speaking about is Fred and McTominay, that double pivot. Can Paul play in there? Can they have Bruno and only have one of them? And if you're going to keep conceding goals like that, like they did against Roma and they did again today, then don't be surprised if you see Cavani come off the bench and Pogba go in central midfield.
That's soft. Lindelof's soft as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to make a firm enough challenge there. But I find it fascinating, the centre-halves, because I've obviously pressed... the sitting midfield players, I've pressed the likes of yourselves before, and you can almost get... When there's two in there, too close together, you can actually mark two players with one. So I agree. I think you've got to really split yourself there.
But also McGinn as well. You must know the opposition and what kind of football they play. He was that type of player who pressed and he tried to get that ball.
Yeah, so that's how it stands. City champions as we stand. Where are you on the Fred McTominay debate then, in terms of Manchester United as a former midfield player? Do they need them both all the time?
No, I think they need only one of them. I don't think they need both. I would say Fred. I think he's improved quite a lot on his position because he kept it simple. But there was just lack of communication. It's something that McTominay could have said, clear it, get it away, and then he won't put himself. But if I have to choose, I'll choose Fred. And probably Pogba. We haven't seen much of him as well. If he play more deeper role, he get involved more. So his short and long passing range become more valuable rather than position it where he plays today.
This is a great debate that we've had on this show, isn't it? And I know every Manchester United fan around the world would agree with you. Get Pogba in alongside one sitting midfield player. Then you can get an extra body going forward, the likes of Cavani, and you can put Fernandes in behind with the two normal wide players. However, as it is, you have to put Cavani on the bench because you don't trust Pogba in the middle as a sitting midfield, so you have to then stick him out wide. It's a conundrum. And whenever they play against a very, very good side, he goes back to basics. He goes back to thinking, no, I need those two protective midfield players. When he's playing an average team at home, he'll go and play all his stars because he lets the shackles off. But I don't think he totally trusts Pogba in that role as a centre midfield player alongside one of them.
So what about the second half now? Pep Guardiola's got the bottle of champagne wherever he's watching it in the fridge. It's cooling. Is it going to be popped, or can United change something and come back and prevent a celebration today?
Well, United are one of the best in the world at coming from behind.
28 points.
Exactly, and one of the best in the world away from home. So Oli will change it. Get Cavani at the top of the pitch. Marcus is better on the left. Get Pogba inside. Take off one defensive midfield players. The game is there to be won. Villa are good defensively with Martinez in that back four. But I think United, if they play properly, they're going to get a couple.
You're frowning, Stan. You're frowning.
No, it's what is really interesting. Man United haven't really tested Villa.
No.
Everything is in front of the Villa defence. The midfielders are quite packed up. Nobody runs behind. What they have to do is they just have to slide and just be compact. Maybe bring in Cavani, that will give a different option because he's mobile, he likes to run away from defenders, and he also can bring others around. With Rashford, he's not in the box. He's everywhere by the box.